Aim to learn new skills.
First point on the pivotal event in
So we have a totally different mix.
So now for my depreciation there, my
Aim to widen your horizons. Aim for a stellar career. Everything starts here at AIM. But what is AIM?
The minor is a very big believer in education. As our business has grown, we also took an interest in education generally, in terms of especially for hospitality. And we need bright young talent globally, not just from Thailand, but from everywhere. The Maldives, where we have hotels, Sri Lanka. We're a big believer in indigenous growth of the people. We would like to have Maldivian managers in Maldives. We would like to have Thai managers in Thailand. We would like to have Sri Lankan managers in Sri Lanka. We would like to have Saudi managers in Saudi Arabia. So how do we develop a skill for these people to develop people further within our organization, and even to go to other organizations? They may join companies like Four Seasons or Marriott or others. And we're happy to be able to support everyone to make our industry better, stronger, more aggressive, more successful. We chose Les Roches especially because they have not only an international base in Switzerland, but we have the Thai base. We looked at many curriculums before we chose Les Roches, and we think Les Roches is one of the most suitable for our part of the world. And it also gives the opportunities for Thai students to spend some of their time, or students, Asian students, to spend some time in either the Spanish campus or the Swiss campus. So, and as Les Roches has other campuses around the world, we can interchange with them. Our program is also very much more focused on the challenges that we see in this part of the world. So one of the things that our students can do is that they can be assured of probably getting a job within our group. But as it gets bigger, they have to be good. So we can get them in. Whether they stay in depends on how good they are.
Our students acquire real-life skills with 2 internships at luxury hotels. As well as at a world-class campus. When they graduate, they are ready for work from day one, equipped with the skills and knowledge to thrive in a globalized world.
We have a BBA of 3.5 years, and then we follow the same system as Switzerland. And in Switzerland, the logic is you do first 6 months where you do practical arts.
Yes.
So you learn all the arts of running a hotel. So you would learn mixology, you would learn wine tasting, you would learn kitchen, you would learn even housekeeping, how to make your bed, doing service in a restaurant, and it's the art of welcoming and taking care of a customer. And the goal is really that you understand that the day you become a general manager, you can talk to your housekeeper, you can talk to your chef, you can talk to your F&B manager, you know how to run a hotel.
Yeah.
And that goes for 6 months. And then part of the program, we have 2 internships, so where they would work in a minor hotel in Thailand or abroad, and they would actually decide kind of which path they preferred, and they could do 6 months in that particular department. And then after that, we go into management. So it's like a business school, so you've got your marketing, your human resources, you're leading teams, and kind of all the traditional courses as well for 2.5 years, and there's also an internship included in that.
Offering the prestige of a Swiss education right here in Asia. Aim higher.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Chris. I'm the head of the Asian Institute of Hospitality and Management here in Academic Association with Les Roches. And it's my pleasure to be your host today to talk about our BBA and our program. So let me just go on. So today we are talking about AIHM, AIM, an academic association with Les Roches, and it's talking all about our BBA and how the BBA is structured, what is the experience of some students, what can you expect, when do we start, and everything else. So just a few housekeeping tips to get started. I will be speaking together as well with the other students to share the experiences. And at the end, there will be an entire session about Q&A. So if you have any questions, any answer, we are very happy to answer them just at the end when everything happens. Otherwise, if you have any questions during the time that we're speaking that pops up at a specific moment, please do not hesitate to answer and ask your question directly into the chat. And then this is something that we will do directly. All right. So my name is Meylan. I'm a Swiss citizen. I am working now at AIM for almost 3 years as a chief operating officer. I've been an hotelier. I grew up in hospitality. My father was a chef. I used to have working as an apprentice in a hotel reception. And then my dream was always to join hospitality and to travel in hospitality. I've worked in hotels in Thailand, and then eventually I realized that I also enjoyed teaching and training about hospitality. So for the last 19 years, I've been working in education, but specifically about hospitality. Joining with me today for this webinar, we have some students. So Andrew, are you here? Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Chris, for bringing me here to join the webinar events. My name is Kim Andrew, but you call me Andrew. I'm one of the alumni at AIM. And now I'm graduate already at AIM, and I'm joining the Mandarin Oriental Bangkok as a rising fan or management trainee in room division. I'm half Swiss, half Thai, and nice to meet everyone.
Thank you so much, Andrew. All right, joining us as well, we have Front, who is currently still a student, almost finished. Front, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Front Ganpecha Prapadnitikun. I'm Thai. I'm currently a semester 7 student at AIM. I'm also part of the student committee now as heads of media and communications. So I work with graphic design and all communications within the student body and the student community, keeping engagement and all that. I've completed 2 of my internships, and I'm looking at graduating later in this semester.
You're looking at graduating, or you will be graduating?
I will be graduating.
That's the spirit. Well done. And last but not least, Fatima, if you'd like to introduce yourself as well, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Fatima Harris, and I'm a semester 4 student and a current student ambassador at AIM. And I'm from India. And yeah, that's it.
And enjoying life in Bangkok. All right. Thank you, guys. So I'm going to bring you through the different part of our presentation, explaining everything about some point. I'm going to ask our students about their experience. So before we actually get started about talking about the BBA, I wanted to talk about hospitality, and I wanted to let you know a little bit more about what are different career opportunities that you actually can get in hospitality. This is a very important choice because you are maybe discovering, do I want to study hospitality, business, or anything else? So why would I want to join this career? So first of all, I have to give a disclaimer. I am a child of hospitality. I grew up in that world. I love it. And I really strongly believe that hospitality can offer you a great career and great career choices. Now, one of the challenge that you might ask yourself, or a few questions you might ask yourself, or your parents might ask you, is like, do you only want to work in hotels? What does it mean? Will you be ending up being a waiter? Tell me more. So first of all, who are you? What interests you? And what type of person are you? And what you want to do? These are the type of questions that I asked myself when I was 16 years old, when I decided to embark into hospitality. So if you are someone who likes to travel, if you're someone who wants to work abroad, hospitality is really one of the best choices. You can actually travel very young, and it's one of the type of career that actually your passport does not matter as much as some other work. If you were to work in a bank, in an insurance, or in a regular business, it is sometimes very difficult to travel young. You have to wait quite a few years before you can actually travel. I'm not a rich person. My family is not rich, but I've always wanted to work in a luxurious environment. Luxury kind of always fascinated me. Wanted to kind of discover those 5-star hotels, this luxury dining, private jets, and all of that. And not having the mean to do that, then working in hospitality and working in luxury hotels is actually something getting as close as working there. And then one of the great advantages of working in international chains is that very often you get special rates. So on your days off, on your holidays, you can travel within the hotel chains of the company, and you can enjoy the perks of working in hospitality as another guest want to be. And hospitality can also be fun because you typically, in a lot of hotels, you work in restaurants. Hospitality linked to restaurants is also you can work in bars, you can work in nightclubs, you get to organize events, you can organize New Year's Eve event and so on. So this is again all the great type of options that you have. So it's actually a great fun rather than just working again as a banker, as a Swiss person. We always talk about banker, just being in front of the computer all the way. Finally, if you're someone who likes people, if you're someone who likes to interact with people, someone who wants to be around, if you are someone who is worried about AI and how AI might steal your job in the future, which are all legitimate questions, what the great news about hospitality is it's still a people industry. So it's about people, talking to people. So this is a great place for you to be working in and also kind of guarantees a job. Hospitality is also one of the biggest industry in the world that keeps on growing worldwide, whether it's in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, in the Middle East, everywhere. More and more hotels open, more and more people travel, and it gives you also more opportunities for the work. And finally, last one is growth. Growth, I think, is a very important aspect as well in terms of do you want to grow in your career? Do you want to become a general manager? Do you want to wait until you're 50, 60 to become a GM? Again, good news is in hospitality, if you're really driven, if you're good, if you want to work hard, then there is good options that you can become a GM at 30 years old into a smaller hotel, bigger hotel, and then your career keeps on growing up and gives you a lot of different options. So just wanted to say, like, as a starter, why hospitality is a great choice. Now, the next questions that we have is, okay, what will I do? So, of course, obviously, part of minor, one of the first options you would do is to work in hotel businesses. So in a hotel business, you can work in F&B, so run concepts, create concepts, work with the chefs, work with the sommeliers, create experiences in a restaurant. Or work at the front desk, or what we call rooms division, welcoming guests, working as a concierge, again, creating an experience about customers staying in your hotel, making them discover the city where you're located, and so on. Another part of the job, which is really getting bigger and bigger, is wellness. A lot of hospitality events, a lot of hotels are going into wellness, wellness center, wellness hotel, when it's all about looking after people's health, looking about people living longer, looking about spa and therapeutic treatment and so on. Going into special places where people get away from their mobile phones and just want to kind of get away from stress and kind of rejuvenate themselves. Again, big business, big trend growing up. I show you a picture of a butler. Butler is also a big trend. Now more and more big hotels and also very rich families from the Middle East, China, Europe as well, want to have their personal team looking after them. So butler doesn't mean that you'll be serving them as a personal butler, but being the head of the house and looking after the entire team that looks after everyone. And that, again, can be a job that can be very well remunerated too. And finally, I like to show the picture of the accountant, because at the end of the day, if you run a hotel, you can run any business. Because running a hotel, it's a small business on steroids, because you have to do your accounting, you have to do your finance, you have to do your sales, you have to do your accounting, you have to do your revenue management, your HR. All the aspects of running a hotel can be found in any other businesses. I started in hotels, I run a school. Everything I've learned in my bachelor, I still use today. But now you might say, yeah, but I want to do something else, Chris. I really want to work in marketing. So marketing is also a possibility, of course, because if you work in marketing and you market a hotel, you will be looked in today at creating content, creating videos on YouTube, creating Gen Z videos for Instagram, right, Fatima? Looking at content that attracts people and want people to trust your brand. A lot of students end up working in sales and marketing, creating content and analyzing in e-commerce. That is a very easy path as well for people to want to work. And if you know how to do that for hotel, again, this can be really moved into all different industries too. Maybe you like events. Maybe you want to organize weddings, right? So Indian weddings, for example, are huge. These are weekly events that can last from 2 weeks to 1 week, inviting up to, depending on the size of the family, but 500 people, 1,000 people, sometimes even taking place in stadiums. So they need event managers to take care. Most event managers come from hospitality. You can start small, working in a banquet, but then bigger, working for the World Cup. For instance, a graduate from Les Roches, I've been working in the Qatari World Cup to take care of the F&B and the overall hospitality experience of VIP guests who went to watch the football matches. So again, a great career option as well. And maybe you want to work for Disney. Maybe you want to work for Universal. Maybe you want to work in a theme park. This is also a great option. Very often, these people will be looking at the people running the Disney parks will be looking at students from hospitality again, because you know how to take care of guests. I had a student from Switzerland who has been working in all Disney parks of the world. So she worked in the Disney one in Florida. She went to Disney World in California. She worked in Paris. She worked in Shanghai. She worked in Hong Kong. She worked in Japan. So from her internship and her career, she's always been a Disney girl. She loved the many years. And now she's working on a cruise line. And she actually is running the hospitality section of a Disney cruise line, which leads me as a segue to cruise line, which is also a great option. It's having hotels on the seas where you run the cruise line. And typically as well, you love it or you hate it. But people who love working in cruise line actually love it because you get to earn a lot of money, because while you're on the cruise line, you actually do not have time to spend it and you don't have days off. But once your work is finished, then you have accumulated a lot of days out and a lot of money, then you can take that advantage for traveling. So again, if you really work hard on that, it could also be a great option. And then finally, maybe you want to open your own business. So I'm like Mr. Heineke, the founder of Minor Hotels, who started at 17 and created an empire. Maybe you want to open your kind of own online type of hospitality-related course like Airbnb and other different types of entrepreneurs. Because if you study hospitality, it really allows you to really completely focus on all the different aspects of hospitality and businesses and starting your own business. All right, so that's kind of like my little introduction of why I think hospitality is a great option for careers and career choices that you want to have. Again, just wanted to explain to you that it's not just limited on purely focusing on running hotels. You could also start running hotels and then change your career as well. This is also very possible. A lot of people do that. I started in hotels and then I went into education as well when I wanted to have my family. So you're not also stuck in that same pathway. Some people love it and just do all their life in hotels. Again, all different options exist. Just what I want to say is that a bachelor in business administration in hospitality will give you a lot of different choices and options in your career as well. So now let's talk about AIM. Let's talk about Thailand. So AIHM or AIM is located in Bangkok. We're located in the capital of Thailand. And the idea was how can we offer the similar type of hospitality quality that is offered in Switzerland, but how can we offer it for people in Asia who maybe cannot or don't want to travel all the way to Europe and offer the same type of quality here in Bangkok. So we are an international school. We have currently 220 students studying the bachelor. We have students from 20 different nationalities, Thailand, Myanmar, Asian countries, India, Maldives, Kazakhstan. But also students from Russia. We have the third nationality actually. We have students from Europe that travel all the way from Europe to study with us, from France, from the Netherlands, from Portugal, and Germany, and want to study hospitality in Thailand. Because again, they want to stay within Asia and they want to grow within Asia. So great place as well, Bangkok. Why? Because Bangkok, all the major brands of hospitality are here. From your Ritz-Carlton to your Anantara to your Four Seasons, the best hotel in the world, the Capella is here. Mandarin Oriental, really the cradle of hospitality is there as well. I know you like to show your fan, Andrew. All the great places are there, and also F&B, amazing amount of creative outlets of restaurants, F&B, from like your street food to your 3-star Michelin restaurants. You really can have a great experience and learn a lot from there. A lot of different cultures live in Thailand. It's a very open country, very welcoming. Thai people, land of smile, love to welcome foreigners as well, create great experiences there, great melting pots and learning from different cultures. And again, also the industry recognize AIM as what we're trying to achieve. And not only within Minor Group, but also other group hotel come here. Yesterday, for example, we had our first career fair where people from the industry wanted to meet our graduates to propose an internship and also career-wise. So Bangkok, great place to study. Now, why would you want to come at AIM? So why do we believe that AIM is a great place? And by the way, all the pictures that we're showing, these are all existing students, not models. So really for you to picture the different nationalities that we have and here studying on campus. So one of the first thing and one of the first aspects of do at AIM is our mantra. Our mantra is we aim higher. We play with the word AIHM, aim higher. So it means we try to do our best. Every student, when they arrive, they hear about that. They hear about aim higher. We repeat them all the time, try to aim higher. And it's for the students' perspective, but also from the teacher's perspective. It's also from the perspective of everybody working here, whether it's a teacher or the marketing and so on. We all aim higher in whatever we do. So we have aspiration. We're ambitious. We want to become the best hotel school in Asia. We focus on quality. Everything we do is with quality, or at least we try to do the best we do, or the best we can achieve. And then at the end is also about creating leaders and building the leaders of tomorrow as well. So yeah, if you join us of this community of students and learners and alumni that really have high aspirations, want to be ambitious in their career. Everything that we do here as well is focusing on an international education. So we are following for the BBA a Swiss degree and a Swiss philosophy. We run exactly the same way that we would run it in Switzerland. So whether it's EHL or Les Roches, of course, which is our academic association. Of course, being in Bangkok, so located here, tuition costs are more affordable, as well as living costs are also much more affordable than Switzerland. The setting is fully international, very cosmopolitan, a group of students, and we're focusing on learning English. So every courses are in English, and within the campus, I insist all the time, and I hope our 3 students will tell that focusing on speaking English amongst each other, even though you're not in class, because being fluent in English is a great aspect for your career. And then finally, we'll talk about Les Roches, but the way we work together, you can start at AIM, study with us for 2.5 years, and then decide to finish your degree at Les Roches. Full transfer, become a BBA student at Les Roches in Spain or Marbella, and then graduate with the Les Roches degree. Now, we are owned by a company called Minor. Minor Hotels is the 10th biggest hotel company in the world, with 560 hotels worldwide. The goal of Minor is to build the next generation of leaders for the industry. And that's one of the reasons why they decided to work with us and to create the school, actually. And the idea is that everybody who graduate with us have a chance to actually join a Minor hotel, either as an employee or as a supervisor or going back of the management training. But you're not obliged to. For example, Andrew, I've tried very, very hard to get him to the ascent management training within Minor, but his heart was somewhere else, so he decided to go for working for Mandarin Oriental. It's his choice. We are a bit sad that he went somewhere else, but he still will be an AIM alumni, and that will always cherish him being part of a first part of graduate students. So again, it's students' choices. It's an option that is given to you, but then you decide to do what you want to do with your career as well. So Minor, 10th biggest hotel chain in the world, hotels located really all across the different continents. Based in, you have hotels in the Middle East, in the Maldives, very soon in Japan, in China. Then you have hotels in Dubai, Middle East, I mentioned that, and then also in Europe, and also coming in the United States, as well as South America too. So worldwide, different places for students to study, and also a great option for students to do the internship and also their careers. Now, also something that we are very proud at AIM, and I hope that the students will tell the same thing, is that the learning style and the experience in the classroom is very different from any universities. We strongly believe in a very dynamic learning style, making sure that anybody who study with us acquires the skills that is needed to go to work right away. So not only do you do your first semester as a practical art, so you learn to work in a hotel, but it's also about having a learning in terms of active learning. So our students are never bored. Every 15 to 20 minutes, a teacher is presenting a topic, and then after that, they have to put into application. Either they do a role play, either they do a simulation, either they do research, either they work on different applications and so on. but they're making sure that whether it's practical skills or whether it's even what we call management or soft skills, that they always put in action right away. And also the fact is we are actually located directly within an existing hotel. So very often we have people from the hotels that come and visit our students, people from the corporate office come and visit to our students and actually help them to pass on their experience and help them with their different projects. So again, something very unique that no other hotel school can really give to their students. And finally, I think I mentioned that already, but we have 20 different nationalities. I hope we can grow to 25 very soon. Very proud of that. A very multicultural students body. We try to create a community where everybody is also accepted, where everybody can grow with their own strengths, and also focus not only on the academic skills, but also focus a lot on what we believe is a very important point of a career success is the soft skills. How you present yourself, how you talk to strangers, how you talk to guests, how you show your leadership skills, how you deal with team challenges when you work in your classroom, how you deal with presentations, how you show the best aspect of yourself. And this is something that from day one, we work with you until the day you graduate with the BBA. All right, so that's the school in general. And now let's dive into a little bit closer to the actual BBA. Which is Les Roches certified. So we work for our BBA together with Les Roches since the day one we've opened. And the agreement that we had, or the academic association that we have, is to build the exact same structure as what is delivered in Switzerland or in Spain. We are not a Les Roches school, we're not a campus, but in terms of academic quality, we are aligned with what they do. And for that, every year, we have the Dean of Les Roches who comes to visit. This year we were very lucky and honored to welcome the CEO. You can see the picture. So Ivana Novillo and Mr. Carlos from the CEO of Les Roches came to visit to talk about everything that we do. And again, 4 years in a row Les Roches came, and 4 years in a row they're very impressed with the quality of what we offer. They're very proud to be an academic association with us, like we are very proud to be in academic association with them, like he's our big brother, big sisters that looked after us to make sure that, again, bring Les Roches quality all across the region as well. Now, as I mentioned before, our students can actually transfer to Les Roches for the final year of study. So you can study 2.5 years here in Bangkok. You can decide to stay with us and be, of course, very happy for you to stay with us. Or you can go and transfer to Switzerland or to Spain and finish your BBA as a Les Roches student. Now, not lying to you, AIM is only 5 years old, so we don't have yet the same reputation as what Les Roches has. They're 75 years old. They, of course, have a bigger group of alumni. We only have 5 at the moment. They have hundreds of alumni. We don't have GMs yet, so of course we don't have the same reputation and so on. So I'm always very happy for students to decide to finish their degree there, as we are very happy to keep them with us. But now, for example, we have 2 students who did the diploma with us, so they left after 5 semesters, went all the way to Switzerland, and then actually, out of the entire cohort, Nimi, you can see on the left, finished valedictorian. So she finished the best students of the entire students' body from the students who started with Les Roches. And Pira, who is the second student who went to Les Roches with the same cohort, actually ended up number 2. So the first 2 students that we sent to Les Roches actually ended up student number 1 and number 2. Of course, we're super proud of them, obviously, but it's also to tell you that these 2 students, you would be prepared well. I cannot guarantee that all of you will be valedictorian, because you still have to work hard to achieve that, but you will be prepared to join seamlessly the program over there without being left behind. Actually, to some extent, you maybe even be a little bit ahead, potentially. So just to see that in terms of academic alignment that we have with our academic partner. Now, Nimi has joined Minor. She's working in the corporate office as a Ascend corporate trainee. She's working on exciting projects, such as building a service culture for the Anantara brand. Pira decided to go to the Middle East. She's working for Rosewood in Qatar, a new opening hotel. She wanted to make some good money, so she's working now as a butler. So butler for taking care of the very ultra wealthy guest over there. So again, different career options that is being offered. All right, so come to the structure of the program, and then I will make a pause and I will let the students speak about their experience as well. So the program is divided in 7 different semesters. We welcome 2 intakes per year. We have one intake in April, and then we have another intake in September. You are welcome to join any. It doesn't really change everything, but it's a rotating part. So you'll be working for 6 months in one semester, and then you move to the second semester where a new group of students is coming in. We follow the same structure and the same logic and the same philosophy as Switzerland. What is that philosophy? That philosophy is you want to become GMs. You want to run your own hotel. And the day you'll be running your own hotel, you will be speaking to a chef. You'll be speaking to your executive housekeeper. You will be speaking to your F&B manager. You will be speaking to your concierge and so on. You'll be speaking to the people who do the job. In order for you to be a good manager, you need to understand what the job is. So that means that practical arts, you learn all about all the arts of welcoming a guest and all the arts of creating a great environment for customers. So in that first semester, you will be learning about cooking. You'll be learning about making a bed in housekeeping. You'll be learning about welcoming guests. You'll be learning about how to welcome, to use the computer system. You'll be looking into serving guests in a restaurants and how to, you will learning about wine and cocktails and so on. So all the practical arts. The goal is not to make you a chef or housekeeper or a waiter, not at all. But the goal is to make sure that you understand and that you have the basic skills to work into a hotel. Because again, if you want to become a manager in the future, you need to know what your team is doing. And the day, imagine that you want to go into a restaurant and you want to show to your waiters how to do the job. If you're unable to do it, you're not serious. So that's the reasons why we focus on that. And then this is followed by an internship, an operational internship. So you can choose, you can choose if you want to work in F&B, if you want to work in the kitchen, if you want to work at the reception. And then you can also choose where you want to work. So you can stay in Bangkok if you want to. You can go to the north, Chiang Mai, to the south, Phuket. You can go to the Maldives, go in paradise. So a lot of students do. You can go to Hong Kong as well. A lot of students are starting to go there. Front was our discovering of Hong Kong and brought a lot of students as well. Go to the Middle East, to Dubai, to Abu Dhabi. And now we have students going all the way to France and then working on a practical aspect. And you do that for 6 months. After that, you come back and for 1 year, you learn management. So as any business school, you will learn your marketing, you will learn your HR, you would learn your accounting, you will learn your sustainability, you will learn about leading people, you will learn about tourism. And in semester 4, we go into topics that are more closely related to hospitality, like revenue management, how do you manage the money? F&B management, how do you run your restaurant, cost control and all of that. Rooms division, again, how do you manage your rooms and so on. And then that leads to a second internship, which is what we call the advanced internship. Now this leads a little bit to your career choices. Do you want to become a marketer? So you want to maybe work your internship into a social media department. Do you want to become an accountant and do an accounting internship? Or do you want to become a GM and go back to front of the house, but maybe work with some projects with the hotel? Your choices again. And then we work together to make sure that you find the best internship for your career. And then as mentioned before, semester 6, you want to go to Les Roches, please stay in touch. We would love to welcome you back. Or otherwise, you can go stay with us, and then you have 1 extra year when you work on more advanced topics like luxury management, strategy, people conflict, leadership, and so on. And then in the final second semester, we finally will be able to launch electives. So you can choose 1 or 2 courses specifically according to your choice. So let's talk about practical arts. So practical arts, first semester. So Andrew, what can you tell everyone about your experience in practical arts?
So I would say practical art, it's, for me, I would say the whole bachelor degree is like a marathon. And the practical arts is the first step you go onto the race. It's a chance for you to explore different departments, where do you find your passion in. For example, now I'm doing room division. I actually found my passion in learning front office and also reservation with my time at AIM. But I feel like practical art is the first step for you to explore which area you like in the department or in the hotel. And you get to touch a bit of both, like a jack of all trades, knowing different elements. Like what Chris said, when becoming a GM, you can talk easily with other departments, and this really helps you understand how the whole operation of the hotel works.
As I remember, you love being a barista as well, right?
True, barista, true, and also a chef.
Yeah, exactly. So typically, Andrew then after that, all the time kind of was in the AIM cafe and then making coffee for everybody. He loved doing barista and coffee, and that's something that you again learn in the first semester.
True.
We have some students who find it difficult to do housekeeping, and they say like, "Why am I here to do beds?" It's only 3 weeks, but it's important because housekeeping is maybe the most important department in a hotel. If your hotel is dirty, no guest will love staying with you. So the hotel needs to be clean, crispy clean, and it's a hard work. So for you to understand what the housekeeper are going through and what's the job and how to make their job easier is again part of being a good manager. And that's the reasons why we want to insist on that. Then the second aspect is business studies. So business studies, again, it's 2 years, 4 semesters. So semester 3, semester 4, and then semester 6 and 7 go from the basis of, like, say, marketing, for example, all to the end when you have to create a marketing plan and focusing on strategy and so on. So, Front, you're almost at the end, almost there. What can you tell us about your academic experience?
Yes, well, I will say I've come a long way, especially academically. So you start at the very first basis of you learning Excel, academic communications, how to write a report, but then that's like giving a foundation, which AIM is providing a very strong one. My first assignment was in marketing. In the first semester, I was the COVID cohort, so I started with semester 3. And my first ever assignment on a university level got me my first offer for an internship as a marketing intern at Sam Kempinski, although I did not go there. But there's just a lot of subjects and courses which are, of course, interesting, and some may be a little challenging. But I would say AIM provide a very, very good support. So you can always ask for your lecturer, you can always ask for student engagement if you have any complications or problems. They're always there to help. Even the student community as well, especially within one cohort or group of friends, definitely you'll meet someone who you will feel relate to. And we grow together very strongly as a community. For business studies, there's also an IHP project. So that's yeah.
Coming. We'll talk about the IHP in a minute. But
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you very much. What's your favorite course?
It's a bit tricky, but for this semester, I would say gastronomy because I love food. But we have a final project coming up, which is in an integration with marketing planning. So we're doing both, planning the food, but also how to sell it. That's very intriguing for me.
What was the most difficult?
Most difficult one, I would say, last semester, financial management for hotels. There's a lot of aspects to it.
Yeah. So finance again, you will learn. It's a business school. You run a business, you need to know finance. So there's a finance course every semester over the 2 years. We don't want to make you accountants because it's not an accounting school. But as a manager, you look at financial reports all the time. When I graduated from my school and then I went to work as an F&B manager in a hotel, every morning I would receive the P&L and the performance of the restaurants and everything, and I needed to be able to learn all these numbers. Again, that's the same logic. Do you understand what the numbers mean? And then from there you can see, okay, what do I need to improve into my operation to be more profitable? Because at the end of the day, that's what my boss wants. My boss wants make sure we're profitable, make sure we want to make money. So that's important to understand finance. I understand it's difficult, but it's very, very important. Thank you, Front. And then we have internships. So we have 2 internships in the program. Again, the first internship, which is the operational internship, so really learning the job. What we hear about all the hotels that students have gone to, again, at 95%, everybody is always super happy. There's always 1 or 2 cases, but in general, 95% the hotels are very happy. The students as well. Students sometimes complain a little bit because it's hard work. I have to do breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to wake up. It's my first real job, so I have to learn that. But the hotels love AIM students because they speak very good English. And also the second reason is because you know how to do the job. Because for 6 months, we've trained you. So if you work in F&B, you know how to do F&B. If you work at the front desk, you know how to work with the latest computer system. If you work in the kitchen, you know the basis of how to cook and so on. So again, great experiences. And again, students have really gone worldwide. So I'm going to ask Fatima, because Fatima surprised us all And suddenly she said, "Oh, I'm going to Portugal." Tell us more.
Yes. So the internships are, I would say it's my favorite part of this overall 3.5 year program because we turn our practical. This experience in Portugal was my first internship. So I applied my practical arts, all the theories, and transformed it into the real world scenario and application where I did my internship in F&B service and I went to Portugal. I was in Albufeira, the south of Portugal, where I did F&B and service. And as I was the first one to go to Portugal at AIM, like it was a tough process at first to go through the visa and all, but at the end it was worth it. I made a lot of friends and I met a lot of great people, mentors, and friends along the way, which helped me and guided me throughout this whole process.
So did you feel you met friends, right? It was not too difficult to get used to live in Europe.
No, I'd say it depends from person to person, but I would say I'm very highly adaptable and I had an international team and my also like roommates were very supportive. So everyone, it's not just Portuguese people, it's like people from Argentina, from Brazil, from Nepal, India, US, Germany, many countries.
That's the great point of hospitality as well. It's an industry that is very cosmopolitan. Everywhere you work, you have people from all across the world working with you. For example, if you go to Dubai, you actually work with really literally people from everywhere. With the same logic of working to a hotel and creating great friends for life, right?
Yeah,
Thank
and
you,
there was
Fatima. Sorry, go ahead. No.
okay. There was also a really like good work-life balance, which is not seen in many places, but in this place, like there was room for both work and life, like life outside of the internship and exploring and experiencing the country in Portugal and also obviously work. So that was also cool.
Excellent. Thank you, Fatima. Front, tell us about Hong Kong. How did you end up in Hong Kong?
Well, my first internship was in Rosewood, Bangkok, and Rosewood is a Hong Kong, they have headquarters in Hong Kong. They're a Hong Kong company. So Rosewood, Hong Kong was my second choice when considering in my second internship because I love the brand so much. Then I ended up in W Hong Kong, and I find it was also a good fit for me. But essentially, I just wanted to explore and see how living in that country would be like. Because after my first internship, I was also considering maybe going into a management training in Rosewood and maybe living in Hong Kong after graduation. So having been able to explore Hong Kong by myself and with also a friend who's on screen over here, Neil, he was my friend going into Hong Kong. It was a very, very good experience. It was a very dynamic city. Similarly to Bangkok, but not as quite. They have I would say it's a very, very unique experience.
A bit more expensive than Bangkok,
Yes,
right?
very much more expensive actually. But the compensation and benefits does make up for it. Like you'll be able to live in Hong Kong if you can afford to uh, get I'm I'm sorry, I cannot English right now. But yes, they pay you very reasonably for what you would have to live in where in Hong Kong.
Perfect. Thank you, Front. Andrew, tell us about Four Seasons.
Yes, so for me, that's my second internship. I was in Four Seasons, Bangkok, here in Thailand. I was front office management trainee, and the reason I choose Thailand during that time was because, and this is my recommendation, which is choose the brand, not the location, because personally for me, I feel that like if you choose a brand that you like or you see yourself working in, that really help motivate you or also push you to exceed your working, your learning, or your experience. And that time, this was a bit over COVID, so I get to learn and actually do everything in the front office, which means cancellation, front office, even a bellboy. So I feel like that's why I choose my internship here in Thailand too.
But I remember when I visited you that they also gave you a lot of different projects to work on, right?
Correct. That was one of the highlight was doing project with the director of rooms, and this really enhanced your critical thinking, but then also like working with the management level as well.
All right, fantastic. Thank you guys for your testimonials. Now, one of the very special course we have, which I'm very happy and very proud of it because it's very unique and no university is giving it the way we do, is what we call the IHP. IHP or the Integrated Hospitality Project. This is a course that is here to teach our students how to manage a project. How to manage a project as a team, how to manage the team tensions and inner workings, talking also with outside people and how to communicate with people and understand how to analyze an issue and come up with a solution. And typically, working with projects in hospitality, that's what you do all the time. Every time you have a new project and you work on a project, whether you're opening a new hotel, whether you're making a renovation for your restaurant, whether you're launching a new menu, whether you're doing a food festival or a festival of any sort, you're always working on projects. So it's actually going beyond the academic side of things, but how to build up your project as you go. So this is a course that is built up in 3 different semesters. Semester 3, you learn IHP 1, which is all about teaching you the basis of project management, how to work a project. And this one is very safe. You work with your teacher. Teacher gives you a case study project to work on, and you work on this project and you show to your teacher at the end, you make a presentation. Then you move up to semester 4, when this time the project becomes a little bit more serious because we're going to go outside, we're going to go to the corporate office, we're going to go to the hotels, and we're finding what we call clients that will give real work projects to students. So for example, in the picture here, you can see the lady is named Brie Kreeser. She's the Vice President of Learning and Development at Minor, big believer in what we do at AIM. And then she gives every semester a couple of projects for the students to work on and make a presentation like you were a consultant to the client at the end. And then after that, semester 6, when you come back from your second internship, this is when you will actually be doing your final projects, IHP 3, where we're going to give you the more challenging projects. So we always look at the project and, okay, which one is a bit easier, which one is a bit more difficult, and then we assign them to the students according to what they're motivated to do. So I'm going to ask Front first to tell you about your IHP experience, please.
Okay, so for my semester 6 IHP, I was doing it with Congeals, which is also from a corporate office. Our brief was looking at the trends in hotels within 5 years and anticipating what will come, especially for Antara and Avani in Asia and Europe. So we did researches on guest experiences, what amenities or facilities hotels can add or are looking at adding. A lot of trends involve AI and digitalization. We also talked about voice AI and smart Internet of Things. For example, a tablet in a room or just some AI speaker that you can talk to directly, and it will link you to a chat with a real employee, for example. It's just integrating and enhancing the experience of our hotel guests and presenting that to Congeals, which is, I believe, Director of Excellence and for Antara as corporate as a brand. And he also mentioned that he's looking into bringing some of our ideas into operations as well.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So the idea is for the hotels, they're not necessarily going to implement your ideas. They might, but sometimes they just want to also brainstorm and they're going to use you for your ideas and maybe some of the aspect that you presented, they like it. It's also to look at your perspective as Gen Zs in terms of understanding how it is going and what you're seeing. So again, really realistic project on things that you will be doing as well. Fatima, you're in semester 4. Tell us about your current experience about IHP, please.
Yes, so semester 4, it's a little more serious than semester 3 because last year we were guided with our lecturer and our lecturer was, grading us and it was overseen by our lecturer. But this time it gets a little more serious in semester 4 and onwards it gets more serious. But right now, me and my group, we are currently designing there's a minor app called Atium, which is used it's now being implemented in most of the hotels. And it's a learning platform where they learn and employees get to train and learn through bite-sized learning. And we're right now currently researching and creating some new screens and concepts for the employees to learn about.
So it's a very important project that Fatima is working on, because this is a current project that a minor is implementing to the company. And then Atium is the way of onboarding new employees and working with new employees. And then Bree typically, for sure, will be using some of the ideas that Fatima's group is presenting as well. But thank you. I think it's a great opportunity for learning. And then I believe you will let me know in 5 to 10 years when I will meet you again as alumni, if what you will remember. I believe that a lot of students will actually mention the IHP as being one of the experience, maybe not necessarily good from the get-go, but good as something that you really learn and impacted you. So after that, of course, students graduate. Some students go into management training. Some decide to stay with minors. Some want to go abroad. So now at the moment, we have most of our graduates are still in hospitality. One wants to be an entrepreneur and do his own gym, so he's doing that. One is very interested in banking, so he joined a bank because he wants to work in finance. It happens. Again, even hospitality prepares you to work in a bank. But I think one of the best options to work in terms of after graduation is to join a management training program. So Andrew, tell us about Meylan Rental management training program and what's your current experience?
Yes, thank you, Chris. So yes, the management training program, or in short, it's called the Rooms Rising Fan or Rising Fan in Training. Basically, it's the 18-month course where actually the first 1 year you get to rotate in each different section of department. For example, I choose the room division. I was in operator, in concierge, and I'm in housekeeping. But along that, each section you get to learn how they operate, and they also support each section with their own project. So along my journey, I did project in operator along with the manager. I did in concierge, and I'm in housekeeping. So you get to learn the basic operation and support them. But however, you get to use your, like IHP, you use your critical thinking and also like doing project along the journey as well. And the last 6 months, you can get to rotate to either different department within the same property, or actually exchanging to go different property around the world in the same department. So for me, in September, I'm planning to go to Middle East to complete my journey in the Rising Fan experience. So yeah.
And then what do you think will be the next step after your management training?
So for me, this is depend. For example, if you're interested in housekeeping, in concierge, in front office, you can grow to that way. But for me, I have two options. Now I'm looking within the, it's called the project executive and operation, which means you handle the project within room division, but also support the operation as a supervisor or duty manager as well.
So you're planning to stay with Mandarin Oriental?
Yes, correct. But I want to go abroad to gain more experience within the brand.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
So as we're coming to an end to the presentation, to this webinar, again, thank you for sticking by. I just want to talk to you about kind of our story, where you can learn a little bit more about us. So one of the first places you can go and read more about everything we do is our blog. So we call it the AIM Hire blog. It is a blog that we publish around twice a week, and we talk about different experiences. Where we talk about internships, we interview our students. You can find a profile for every one of our teachers. We talk about the IHP. We talked from the client's perspective, so we talk to the GMs, what's their experience. We talk to the teacher, what's their experience. What do you talk to the students, so you have different perspective as well. We talk sometimes about, for example, what is hospitality, what is career in hospitality. So it's a good source of information, not just about AIM, but just about hospitality in general, about what we do at AIM as well. And again, show that we are a real school and that we're going very good strides into what we're doing as well. So you show the quality shine through. And then maybe you want to talk to students. So we have student ambassadors. So if you click here on this link, you will find every semester we'll select 7 student ambassadors. Everyone in this call has been a student ambassador or is a student ambassador. And typically what you can do is you can link directly with them. So you can go and join them and chat with them on a private WhatsApp or Line group, and you can get all the different information. You can go onto our Instagram and you will see the content that they post about living in Thailand, living in Bangkok, studying in AIM, and really getting student to student information and interaction. So also something I recommend, so you can really see what from the student's mouth what's the experience and why would you consider joining us. And then we have all our different social media. So as Fatima loves to say, Facebook, very millennial, very Gen X, for your parents, not for you, boring, but you know, the serious stuff. So if you want to show to your parents what we do at AIM and links to our blogs and everything, you will see everything there. Executive education, we talk about all different programs we do outside of the BBA as well on LinkedIn, something you can join as well, more for the professional side, again, more for your parents. Though, this being said, once you join AIM, one of the first things you do is actually be on LinkedIn and then create a LinkedIn account and start growing your LinkedIn account and creating linkages and teaching you how to post, to create followers and create your personal brand, as we call it. Instagram, more fun. These are the students' content. They create content, student to students, and it's much more focused on the students' lifestyle. We also have a students' committee, and we also have a page for that. And then YouTube, we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of testimonials almost every semester. We interview several students about their experience, totally unscripted. You can see and talk to, and you can see what they do, different events. You can see the brand videos and all of that. Again, to give yourself a better overall understanding of what is AIM and what we're doing. And finally, we also have a private line chat if you are in Thailand. And we also are on TikTok. Though our TikTok can still do better, we just need to create a bit some more dancing videos. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So again, to know a little bit about us, we invite you to join us there. So what do we expect to join? So 17 and a half years old to get started. We need to be a little bit, we need to be strict with that because you do your internship right away at the second internship and you need to be 18 years old. This is by the law in Thailand. That's something we need to follow. And then after that, we're looking for a high school diploma in your country. Whatever the country diploma is, we'll accept it. We have a list of what it is. And then we also accept A-levels. We also accept an IB. We also accept GED. And then again, if you are missing any of these, we always have also what we call bridging courses, like a foundation course that will then help you to join the BBA. We always have students on that particular program. The minimum English requirement is a IELTS 5.5, so we need to make sure that you have a good English. If you miss that English equivalence, we have another foundation course called IBAS, English for Business and Academic Studies, which is focusing specifically on your English skills to be able to start studying with us. And then typically also one of the main aspects that we're looking at in terms of joining us, you would either interview me or you would interview with the dean, and then we want to kind of shine through that passion that you have for hospitality and kind of why do you want to choose AIM and be with us and be part of the journey. We also have support for international students. So if you're coming from abroad, we have a chat group. We always offer, even before you arrive, a series of webinars to make you ready to join AIM, to give you information about the campus life in Bangkok, how to find accommodation, how to meet your students, give you already some ideas about your program and so on. We will pick you up at the airport, and then as well, we will give you one night at the Avani, so the hotel that is located directly at the school, and so make sure that you can find your own accommodation. We have some special accommodation providers with whom we work, so we can find you an accommodation right away. But what we see with a lot of the students are able to find the accommodation by themselves or pass on. In general, that's not a problem, and it's again very affordable. And living in Bangkok, I'd like to ask Fatima, as a foreigner who came from living in the UAE, decided to study Bangkok. So what's your experience as a foreign student studying in Thailand?
So my experience as a foreign student studying in Thailand is actually great. AIM is a very international campus, and my cohort is one of the most diverse with 12 nationalities, with around 20, I'd say, students. So it's a very safe and student-friendly environment where everyone is open to talk, and living in Bangkok, cost-wise, it's very affordable. You can do many things, and there are so many things to do in Bangkok, whether it's going to a night market, going to a rooftop bar, and the nightlife never ends. So you can never be bored.
So what's your favorite thing to do in Bangkok when you're not studying?
I have many things, but I usually like hang out with my friends. We go out to eat or sometimes bars. Yeah.
Did you find it difficult to make friends?
Not really, because at first, yeah, it's a bit challenging because everyone's just getting settled down, but the practical arts classes really like immerse everyone to grow and stay connected together. You know, we are doing operations in housekeeping and front office, F&B service, F&B kitchen. So all these make us, connect and share our experiences and grow together.
Fantastic. Thank you, Fatima. And then the cost of living. So typically, of course, it depends on your own lifestyle. Bangkok, I'm always saying you can live an ultra luxury lifestyle with a five-star hotel and a three-star Michelin, and then you need a lot of money, but you can also live very much on a budget, or you can just combine a little bit of both. So this is typically the kind of estimated cost, living cost, and kind of how much would you need to be living on transportation, accommodation, personal expenses, depending on that. Fatima, do you agree with that?
Yes, I'd say it's a rough estimate. It depends from person to person, as you said. And yeah, as I see, yeah, most of the cost of living categories checks out.
Perfect. Thank you. Andrew, anything to say about Bangkok, living in Bangkok?
Well,
You're Bangkokian, so
yes. I'm not exactly a Bangkokian, but I've lived here for over 10 years and I love exploring. Uh, Bangkok has so many good spots, whether you're looking for food, snacks, bars, or a place to read, a place to sit, somewhere to play, somewhere to connect with your friends or meet new people. It's a very diverse and multicultural city. You can always go explore. One day you're in Chinatown, the other you're in the old town and you're looking at Thai history, culture, a lot of good food, but especially with where AIM is at, I find it very easy to get around. I just take the boat from Antara and cross to Sea Phaya, and then I walk to the old town. I walk to Yaowarat, and there's just a lot of cool little speakeasy spots where it's not exactly mainstream, but you can always stumble upon them. Keep my friends always call me a Bangkok concierge just because I love walking so much. But yeah, that's a good thing. Bangkok in most parts of the city, within the heart of the city, is mostly walkable. So I would encourage you to take advantage of that if you were to come here.
thank you. And you, Andrew, as another Bangkokian?
I would say people tend to overlook. I feel like Thailand or Bangkok is one of the tourist destination. And for example, in Thailand, you have all the five stars hotel, even city hotel, or even a resort. But then also you have the sea, you have the island, you have up north, you have the mountain. So it's like all in one box basically. You have everything you can explore. You don't have to go to Europe or even Middle East. You can stay here in Bangkok, and I feel like it's like a mix of everything, which is I would say is some country doesn't have that, and Thailand offer that, which is a huge opportunity for you to go in your career, but also live your life as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Bangkok, I love Bangkok. I've been here when I discovered that when I was 22, 23, when I came for my very first internship myself and discovered the city, and it's party, study. There is really everything. There is really everything. There's food. There's great, and then the people in Thailand. Just I think it's called the land of smile for a reason, and it's true that people make you feel welcome, and it's easy to make friends as well. Talking about accommodation, sorry, I jumped that quickly. So there is different accommodation options that really just are nearby. where our students tend to stay. You can have studio or two bedrooms, and a lot of students like to sometimes have a roommates as well. Some are walkable to the campus. Some others you can just take a short motorbike drive. So quite easy to stay and to have. And again, we are here to support in the beginning if you need to. And this is the location. So yeah, thank you, Front. It's also a good point because a lot of the other universities in Bangkok, we are the most central. I mean, especially from a bachelor perspective. Most of the universities tend to be more on the outskirts. And then typically it takes a couple of hours to, even if you want to go downtown. From AIM, you take the boat, you take the BTS, which is the Sky Train. You can be in Khao San, which is the party street, in what, half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour? Yeah, you can also go to Siam, which is another kind of very hip young person space with a lot of shopping and shopping centers and dining and so on. Also half an hour. Sukhumvit, the BDA, the Business Central District, also the same as well. So very good destination, quite easy to go. But the good thing is we're also slightly outside of the craziness. So if you want to go and be resting on the front of the river, it's also a nice place to be. All right. So we are accepting application for September. Our intake will be on the 22nd. We will start on the 22nd of September, which is a Monday. The induction will start on a Friday. And again, if you as long as you enroll and you come from abroad or you start the program, there will be a series of webinars as well that will welcome you to actually better understand what's your journey going to be as a student. And then if you want to join us a bit later, also we will have another intake in April 26th, also the third week of the semester. So thank you very much. I'm almost on time. Sorry, slightly over time, but we're almost there. So I don't see any questions on Instagram. I don't see any question on the chat. I see Nacha is looking to join AIM. Thank you very much. We look to welcome you too. And on the main chat, I don't see any specific question. Vladimir has been helping with some Russian translation. Thank you very much. Does anybody has any final question? If you want to put in the chat. Yes, Lisa, go ahead. Scholarship. Yes, we do have scholarship. So the scholarship is what we call a merit-based scholarship. We offer scholarship that can go up to 25% off the main pricing, or all up the way to 50%. However, for this scholarship, what we request is we want to see a full portfolio of what you've done so far, a motivation to join the industry, and then we will be giving you a presentation to do on a trendy topic, and you have to do a 10 minutes presentation. Either we'll do it on Zoom like that, or you record a video, and based on the video, we will give you the answer. What we're looking at is really for passion for the industry, joining AIM, being part of really the industry. And also, we'd like to see a little bit of critical thinking. Can we understand a little bit your chain of thoughts? Can we understand the way you're looking for? Again, we're looking for the best students because we want to become the best school. So this is the type of information we're looking for when you do the scholarship. So Lisa is asking about the schedule. Okay, good question. Schedule, like how packed the classes are. Fatima, how many hours do you study per week? How packed is your class?
I'd say the classes are manageable. It depends also from semester. Like, for example, in practical arts, the first semester we have like 14 subjects, and they're based on the practices you do in the application. And right now I'm in semester 4, so that's the academic semester, and I study like, I'd say 3 to 4 hours a week. It depends if I have an exam, but most of the time the workload is very less and we have minimal and manageable number of assignments and classes.
Thank you so much. Front?
So currently in my last semester, I would say right now it's very, very much packed, but it's just because we have an assignment timeline coming up. So because we're going to a half-term school break next week. So we're submitting everything, but it's self-managed. As for classes, I go to AIM only on Monday to Thursdays. We don't have classes on Friday, and it's just one class or two class per day. Other than that, you manage your time, you work on how you want to do your assignment. Because we also got an assignment calendar handed when the semester started, and so we can plan ourselves accordingly right at the start. So it's very, very good now.
Exactly. It depends if you're a procrastinator or if you are working plus with some plans. That typically I would say a class, if we look, maximum would be 6 hours, and that only maybe in once a week. And then I'm talking about the academic side, and then otherwise 2 hours with even sometimes even in one class because you are expected, of course, as a higher education to do your own research as well. To do your research on the topic and do working on the projects and so on. So that's why you have time outside of classroom. For practical art, it's a little bit more packed because you are expected to do the job, but we never really goes beyond 6 hours of practical arts. But you might, for example, evening work. If you work in service, you might expect it to work in the evening, but then you are free in the morning as well, and then you never work later than 9 o'clock as well. So another question from Lisa, thank you. The internship regarding the expenses if you want to go outside of the country. So it really depends on the destination you are going to, and it depends on the brand. So some of the brands, for example, Front mentioned Hong Kong, they will give you the allowance and the benefits for you to cover accommodation and cover F&B. You cannot expect a full salary, but they will support you in that way. In some other destination, they will provide you with accommodation and will provide you with F&B as well and transport. Some of them will give you an allowance. It depends on the country and the hotels. And this is also the type of questions that you need to have when you do your interviews. And if you're looking for that, my recommendation is don't necessarily look for the salary and the money. Of course, you need to be able to cover it, but it's more for the experience and the brand that you can put in your CV as well. Thank you. Excellent question. English skill with the school request, Nacha. Thank you for the question. So we're looking at an IELTS of 5.5, which is a B2 according to Cambridge, or 100 points on Duolingo. If you do not meet those entry requirements, then we have a foundation English course for 6 months that will guarantee that you will move up to the requirement level that you have. It's called the EBAS, English for Business Academic Studies. It's just adding another semester on top. So you would start with that foundation course. It's pure English immersion, and then you would start practical arts 6 months later. Our students who take that choice are very ready to go on to the program. Kaofang, questions. How many students do AIM? I love these questions. My God, I was afraid that would have nobody be asking me things, so I love it. How many students do AIM enroll each semester? Approximately 50 students. So we started in the beginning with 10 students. That was 4 years ago. We started in the middle of COVID, and we are a new university, so it took a little bit of time. Now, depending the last 3 intakes, so we had around 42 in April. We had almost 60 in last September, and around 45 a year ago. This is about the numbers of students we enroll. The April intake tends to be more Southeast Asia, as the September intake tends to be more international. So Fatima said 12 different nationalities in the classroom. She's from the September intake. That's because of all the international students from international schools. That's when they study university. That's slightly the difference, even though you have international students also in April. So then we have Trif Cram. Thank you for your time. Ask whether an A-level qualification English first language be sufficient. Yes. If you studied your IB in English, if you did your A-level in English, we don't request your IELTS. We know you studied English. It's more than enough for us. It's totally acceptable. No need to top it up with anything. Application for September 20 will close approximately by mid-August. Mid-August, because again, we need also the time to help you work for the visa. So many questions, I love it. How many students per class? So it depends. On the practical arts class, we have about maximum 20 students because we want to keep the class small so everybody can look after you to make sure that you're safe and that you get the learning environment you deserve. And then for the academic class, we top up at 30. So this is also the reasons why we want to make sure that you get a good experience, personalized. What we don't want to do is we don't want to do an experience where you end up in an amphitheater with 100 people and you're just there learning passively. If you come at AIM, you must expect to be engaged. We will engage you in the classroom, outside of the classroom. You cannot hide. Some students do, but we'll always find them, right? Have a high English equivalent score. We need to respect the entry requirement of Les Roches, which is 5.5. We cannot go away from that. This is what we need as a minimum. Again, if you want to join with us and you're a bit afraid about your English, please join our EBAS. This will be very much the best course to get you ready. Our teachers are fantastic, and what they do in that English course is they work on your confidence, which is the most important thing to communicate. We don't expect full fluency, we don't expect perfection, but we expect that you'll be able to communicate and understand what's happening in the classroom. In general, what I can see is everyone students being a little bit hesitant when they start studying, eventually become really good at English and can really communicate fluently. And it's so important because when you go to your career, if you're the smartest man in the room or the smartest lady in the room, but you cannot communicate your ideas, you won't be successful. So that's the reason why it's so important to be able to communicate confidently your ideas, and that's why we focus so much on that. All right. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here, for listening to the question. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to Fatima, Front, and Andrew for taking your time off. You are working on your projects and working on your IHP and working on your management training. Very proud and happy of you. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone to take the time to listening to this webinar. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us, whether on our website, to talk to your agent, to go to our line group on Instagram, and then we'll be happy to answer all your questions that you might have. Looking forward to welcoming you soon. And again, thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.